The English kicker here is Philip Alexander, kicking off as the first ever game gets underway of the World League. Is taken back on the 4, brought out to just about the 20-yard line. All of the players have made their first ever hit. We have number 29, Ubadike there on his first ever play for the World League, a British brawn player, getting his very first taste of professional football.
Yes, it's good to see the British lads get in there, and he's on the special teams as a starter, so it looks like there's another starter of a British lad out there on the Monarchs squad.
Well, I hope to see quite a bit of the various British players as well as the German players on this Operation Discovery as the Frankfurt Galaxy comes out for the very first set of downs from their own 20-yard line. First and 10, Perez over the ball. Little confusion on the offensive line as number 89 jumped off. To be expected, as these teams have not had a lot of practice time with the offenses. The offenses will make mistakes in the early days. Jumped a little bit early. It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
False start, number 67, offense, first down.
Number 67, one of the linemen jumping, a little bit nervous. I think we'll see a little bit of this tonight going in the first quarter especially.
Yes, it's the first time out of the blocks, and Lee, the wide receiver, also made a move too. And they're very nervous out there. This is their first showing in front of a big crowd, but look forward to the game getting underway well right here.
Second down and 15. Man in motion, single setback. Short drop, throwing to the left, overthrowing number 89.
Yes, that was a timing pattern, Lance, and he was just a bit off the mark there. Perez just trying to find the mark, trying to get off the ground here, and there's bound to be mistakes when you get off the blocks the first time here, and they're just trying to find their feet.
Well, I would expect quite a bit of a short passing game while these offenses attempt to get out their first wrinkles. Be short passing game, short running game. I would expect to see a little bit more of the passing to the left and right. Nothing deep downfield yet. It's a short step back, throwing out to the running back, number 33, Baker, coming out. Brought down on the sidelines. The short pass to the running back, when they have all the receivers on both sides, you can also throw to the running back. They expect a lot out of Baker. He is called Mr. Touchdown Baker.
Yes, he featured very well with Cleveland in the NFL, and he's their big playmaker, and look to see a lot of him carrying the ball today.
Coming up for third down and back to about the line of scrimmage, so it's about 3rd and 10 from their own 19.5-yard line. Perez dropping back, looking downfield, looking, throwing a softball away over the head of number 89. Everybody seemed to be fairly well covered on this first set of downs. A little bit of nervousness on the offense. They'll get their kicking team in now. Number 1, Wlaf will attempt a punt with his bare foot from standing on about his own 5-yard line.
Yes, Perez was heavy under pressure there from a linebacker blitz, and he had to throw the ball out of bounds to avoid the sack.
A low snap. He gets a nice amount of height, coming down at about the 42-yard line. Hit very, very quickly by the linebacker number 53. That was number 81, Bidham, that the London Monarchs expect quite a bit out of. He is not only their number 1 target to pass at, but he also is expected to do quite a bit on special teams. On the London Monarchs offensive line, we have 60 Adams at left tackle, 70 Burdelli at left guard, 59 Marone at center, 68 Jones right guard, 67 Gabbard at tackle, and 87 Davis at tight end. As the Monarchs doing a very serious set of plays, number 22 up the middle for about an 8-yard gain. Number 20, that was Jeff Alexander. Very first play out of scrimmage, about a 7-yard gain going over the right side.
Yes, just a straight fullback plunge there to get their nerves down, just to get some gains going.
We have 12 Witkowski at quarterback, 22 Garrett at running back, 20 Alexander running back, 81 Dana Brinson, and 86 Horton as the wide receivers. A short step back. Has he thrown? Yes. As Ruda completed catch by number 22, Garrett coming out of the backfield, playing what they call the H-back. The H-back being a member in the backfield who can both run and catch. I think we'll see a lot of Garrett tonight. It looks like we're about 3rd and 1.
Witkowski was heavy under pressure there. There was a blitz on from the linebacker core, and he had to drop that ball off quick.
Well, I think we'll see a lot of these short, quick passes as the offenses slowly get underway. Oh, hit right at the line. Alexander did not get that line. He was hit by number 57, Yeppy Poe. That's P-A-U-U, and number 72, Mike Mraz. They stopped him with about a 1-yard loss. Hit very, very quickly.
Yes, here we can see it looks like a straight play up the middle, and they fill the gaps. The linebackers coming in, and the right tackle coming down and taking the man out from behind. Excellent play by the defense there of the Galaxy.
So here we have the Monarchs punting on their very first set of downs. Getting the ball up, very high kick, not terribly deep. Perhaps going out of bounds. Looks like he shanked it a little bit to the right-hand side. He did. The ball went straight out of bounds. He's not looking too happy. I think he would like to have that punt over again. Again, I think it's a case of the first game nerves.
Yes, I think they're all under pressure here, and first nerves of Greg Horn there, the punter, and he's the non-barefooted punter, whereas the German seems to be the barefooted punter.
So we have Frankfurt starting on their second attempt to move the ball downfield, starting from about their own 26-yard line. Single setback, 4 receivers. And it's a draw up to Baker coming up again. It's about 5 yards just on the right side. Tackled by linebacker Kenny Sale, number 51.
Yes, they made good penetration there, and the offensive line is getting off the ball better for the Galaxies than the defense is able to stop them at the moment. They made good penetration into the Monarchs defense there. Good slashing run from Baker.
We have, it looks like the tight end, number 80, down in the field with a banged up right leg. That's Todd Young, number 80. A quick drop back, looking to the left side, slightly overthrowing number 25. Looking left again on the quick pass play. Single back setup as we have 0-0 in the very first quarter of this match.
Defensively, they're setting up in a 3-4, Lance, and they look like they're playing man with 2 deep safeties, not taking any chance with Perez because he's a very strong passer. They're going for all the short, high percentage passes here to try and get a rhythm going, and they're just trying to find their rhythm because Mr. Johnson just seemed to be going a different route than he was throwing to.
Third down and about 6 yards. Baker going in motion. And we have our first whistle of the World League. I think you might find, Wayne, that that was this new rule that the league has of 35 seconds between plays instead of 40 seconds is going to catch the quarterbacks out a little bit as the game is speeded up from a regulation NFL game.
Yes, I think that is going to help the fans too because they get a lot more action in the game, and certainly about 30% more plays, so 30% more action. You're right, Lance.
So it'll be third and about 11 from their own 25-yard line. Again, a single setback. Perez dropping back, looking downfield, throwing to the right for a completed pass. About 8 yards downfield. right in the arms of 81 Fortune, the wide receiver on the right-hand side. I think he was just 2 yards short of his first down, so it'll be 4th down and punting out.
That was Perez's first reception or first completion of the game, and he looks a very sharp passer out there, and I look forward to see him in more action.
Here we have our barefooted punter yet again. Back kicking from about his own 20. Didn't necessarily get what he wanted on that ball. Took a decent bounce for Monarchs. Stopped by number 31 McCree. Monarch ball.
We look forward to see the Monarchs trying to move the ball down the field there. They seem to be getting some good play out of their backs, and they don't seem to be throwing the ball as much as the Galaxy. We'll let to see what's going to happen here, Lance, see whether they elect to pass or play, run.
I'm talking to that Monarchs coach. He said he had a very, very large mobile front line, and he was expecting good things from them. So I would imagine he's going to do a little bit of getting the ball back to his running backs and let that front line do a little more work than they normally do. 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. It's a fake trap, a little bit of ball up in the air, and just slightly overthrown his favorite receptor, number 81, Brinson, being followed by number 20, Lonnie Finch, the cornerback.
That was a very, very good timing fade that he just went off the fingertips, and a very, very unfortunate pass because that could have been a big gainer for the Monarchs in their first pass.
The Frankfurt Galaxy defense, you can see the linebackers, Wolfuk, Papau, and Alexander are expected to shut down this Monarch offense. And we have no gain on the right side. Garrett coming out of the H block, number 22, being stopped at the line of scrimmage. We have, Wayne, the offensive line, if I recall, on the Monarchs is about 6'3" and 290 pounds, which is rather staggering. What about the size of that Frankfurt defense?
Yes, I think you'll see them wear them down. I think at the beginning of the game you won't see much effect, but after the game goes on, yes.
3 wide receivers on this side, single back, rolling out to his left with Kowski, a completed pass, looking to go upfield. Brought down by stalwart number 27. And McCoy, number 40, coming in from the strong safety.
That was a good pass by the young quarterback, Wachowski. Excellent reception. And Riley, the wide receiver, making very good grounds. They're trying to put the ball out there one-on-one with the DB and try to make it a running play after that. And he's doing a very good job at it.
It wasn't quite enough for a first down, so we're going to punt the ball away again. Special teams are going to have an important part in this game. Kicks the ball off of his 25-yard line. Taken, just missed a hit. Brought down almost immediately. It's number 87, Jay Johnson. Seen to be their number 1 kickoff return man. He didn't get much of a chance there. Got 1 step and was brought down immediately. As Frankfurt Galaxy comes back on the field, still looking to be able to move this ball a little bit downfield, a little bit further than they have.
Excellent punt for Greg Horn there after the shank of the first one. He certainly got a good spiral down there and put a lot of pressure on the run back. And there was a good special teams effort down there with lots of bodies flying down to make the tackle.
We have our first ever sack. As number 94 came in from the outside linebacker position, Danny Lockett. We have a flag down as well. I think you'll find it's probably against the offense. Number 94 came in, introduced himself to the quarterback and said, hello, I'm going to take 6 of your yards away from you.
Here we see excellent swim motion from 75. Great tackle here from the outside. Drove the ball carrier back. Danny Lockett making a great play there from outside linebacker.
If I was a member of the defense, the blitzes are going to be a little more fun to do right now than being a member of the offense and trying to stop a blitz. And for those of you who don't know what the blitz are, that's basically when people you don't expect to go chasing you in your backfield come from unexpected positions. In that case, Danny Lockett, number 91 from the outside, came in when nobody was quite expecting him. Second and 14 from their own 22. Oh, and he's tied up yet again. Took one look downfield, was totally unable to pass. Hit by number 71, the right defensive end, John Shannon.
John Shannon was on a stunt there. He came up the middle between the guard and the tackle. Certainly they weren't looking for him there, and it was excellent play straight up the middle on a stunt.
Well, as you can see on the screen, a sack is when a defensive team tackles a quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. The defense loves it. The quarterback is not quite as enthusiastic about a sack.
And we see the play here, and you'll see it come straight up the middle. Shannon does a stunt. He swims to the inside and beats the guard center routine.
While we're having it replay, we've had a dive play up the middle. Coming nose tackle, number 75, Roy Hart, stopped any further action going. This number 75 for the Monarchs, Roy Hart, is called the action man. According to him, wherever he is, the action takes place. We have receiving the punt, number 81, Dana Brinson. Punt leaving the 12-yard line. Brinson watching it, letting it go dead, taking a galaxy bounce all the way back to the London Monarch 27-yard line. Wayne, you're seeing a bit of these big men introducing themselves up front. Yes. I would imagine the very first offensive-defensive lines are going to be rather tough in this first 15 minutes.
Yes, they're trying to establish territory now, and the offensive line is saying this is our turf, and defense is saying the same thing.
We have a 0-0 scoreline in the first 5 minutes of our quarter. We'll be back more in just a few moments. Stay with us, please. Where we have a 0-0 scoreline early in the first quarter. Monarchs from their own 27. Oh, we have pullback. We have a quarterback sack by number 50. Wolfo, about a 12-yard loss. Quarterback rolling right. Witkowski went to look downfield. Number 50, totally unmarked, came blitzing in from the left side. Wayne, was he at all picked up with that?
Yeah, that was a free blitz by Wolfson, and he made an excellent play of it. And there's no way that quarterback was doing anything other than throwing that ball away. Witkowski was well trapped there.
Can you take us through this again as he rolls right, looks up. Number 50 is in his face before he gets a chance. He does get rid of the ball. The in-the-grasp rule is not working here. Will you take us through in-the-grasp rule and the differences now in the rulings between the NFL and the World League?
The in-the-grasp rule basically means that if in the NFL, once you're grasped, the ball is dead. Here, it's every man for himself.
Monarchs coming out, second and long, looks downfield. Oh, just a little bit lower than Garrett would have liked it, just at the shoe tops as they're looking to use their backs coming out of the field yet again.
That's the H-back set again, where they're trying to use a flanker or an H-back out there as another receiver to confuse the defense. They're trying to get mismatches between Garrett, the running back, and a linebacker that is going to have to cover him.
When I asked the coach on what exactly he called an H-back, he called the H-back someone he would move up from the backfield close to the line of scrimmage where he could use him as either a receiver or a running back, as opposed to a conventional running back who sits about 5 yards behind the quarterback. On this case, we've just got two flankers on either side of the quarterback, with Kelsey going back. A very nice trap play right up the middle. Caught by Stallworth. Keith McCoy on the safety brought it up. We have about an 18-yard gain right up the center. Looked like a fumble. Was that a fumble, Wayne?
Yeah, that was a fumble. It made an excellent gain. He tried to reach out, get an extra yard with the ball, and it dropped it. Unfortunately, a great run by Alexander, but he dropped the ball in the end, so it's all for now.
Witkowski coming off, looking a little bit despondent at that on their first long gain. The fumble being a lost possession of the ball when a running back or anyone who has the ball in his hands drops it and the defense takes over the ball. They get the ball at the line where the ball was dropped. Frankfurt Galaxy coming from the 28 of the Monarchs. Number 33 Baker stopped in the center for no gain.
Great field position here, Lance, for the Galaxy to try and punch in their first score to get that fumble on the 33-yard line, and it looks like a good chance for them to go in and put the ball in the end zone.
Well, I think until we get a chance to see these offenses settle down a little bit, we're going to see some nervous fumbles, we'll see some bobbled punts, we'll see a little bit of exciting things occurring through accident more than through design, and I think that was one of them. As Frankfurt comes out, second down, looking in, 27 yards to go. Perez back to pass, over the middle, just incomplete. Ken Sale, linebacker, was covering number 87 on that, being the wide receiver coming out of the left-hand side.
The Monarchs are still sitting in their 3-4 defense, and Perez there had all the time in the world to throw. He checked off 2 receivers and he threw to the back coming out. So it doesn't look like the front 3 of the Monarchs are putting much pressure on Perez at the moment, Lance.
I imagine those Frankfurt coaches are talking about exactly what Perez is or isn't doing, and they're trying to get that down to the field to the head coach there, Jack Elway. Perez dropping back yet again, looking to his back, threw slightly behind the running back. There was number 33 coming out, Baker, who they want to get the ball to. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Jay Johnson, number 87. They want to get the ball. They've got 2 big playmakers, Johnson, number 87, and Baker, number 33.
They got some good outside pressure on Perez that time by blitzing both outside linebackers. That's why the ball was thrown a bit quick and seemed to go behind Johnson. So it looks like they're going for a field goal here, Lance, to put the first points on the board.
Well, these would be the first points ever scored in the World League, so we can see it. This is Stephen Maslow, number 3. I think they've just had a penalty. They've run out of that time. Again, I mentioned that 35 seconds as opposed to the 40 seconds. That will cause the offense a little bit of trouble. That's going to cost them 5 yards.
And this might put them out of field goal range, Lance, because that 5 yards just puts them back a bit. So they'll be taking about a 43 to 48 yard field goal. Now it depends on where they put the ball.
Well, Maslow is out of the German amateur leagues originally, and that's well within his range. And I think he would like to be able to score a field goal in front of his home fans. So it's not going to bother him, that little extra distance. He wants those first 3 points of the World League.
Looks like they're going for a punt here, Lance. Just put them outside of that range.
Well, unfortunately, we've lost yet another 5 seconds as the offenses again are having a little trouble getting their teams in and out within the 40-second requirement. This is something that the crowds are not going to like, but it is going to take us a little time, probably another 2 to 3 minutes, until the fine-tuning of the offenses come in. Now, if you were punting here, Wayne, what would you be trying to do? Would you go for the sideline, or would you go straight up the air and let your punt return team get under it?
Well, Lance, you and I are old-timers in this game, and we only know the word punt, but I'm told they do a punch here, where they try to put the ball on the 2 or the 3 and make them have very deep possession.
Well, it's landed on the 6. In fact, Wayne, it has been down on the 3-yard line. Frankfurt will enjoy that kick a lot more than the London Monarchs, as the Monarchs will take over on their 3-yard line. Whelan is a much happier punter now than he was a little bit earlier.
Yes, that's that new punting scenario they call a punch or whatever, where they're trying to get it into a specific area and down it before it goes over the goal line. Well,
the Monarchs will be coming out now with the score 0-0 from first and 10 from their own 3-yard line. Very dangerous territory to be starting your own plays from.
What would you look to see, Lance, ex-coach? What would you like to see them come out with here?
Well, being a conservative ex-coach, I would try and run it out of there. But Larry Kinn is a little more experienced than either you or I, Wayne. So he's got his own game plan. He's not afraid to try things. He's a courageous coach. He'll know what he wants to do. If I was going, I would stay on the ground. What about you, Wayne?
Yeah, I'd do just the same as you. I'd use my best back and try to drill it out of there.
So therefore, he'll pass. So here we have first and 10 from the Monarch 3-yard line. Witkowski back to pass under pressure, throwing off his back foot. And luckily for the Monarchs, the defensive back of the Frankfurt Galaxy did not turn around.
Yes, that was a play where Witkowski was trying to do something there, and he was trying to throw running backwards. An excellent opportunity to show young quarterbacks that you can't run backwards and throw the ball forwards accurately.
If you'll see him, he goes back off his back foot there, Wayne, being chased and harassed by number 59, the linebacker.
Yes, and Brinson didn't see the ball at all. Well underthrown.
Second and 10. Looking to pass again. Witkowski going down the field just over the head at the 35-yard line. Wayne, I'm not seeing this big offensive line move people around. I thought the Monarch offensive line would be overpowering the Frankfurt Galaxy. That's not quite what we're seeing yet.
Yes, I'm amazed myself too, because Witkowski seems to be under a lot of pressure, or where I would say behind 5 guys that weigh an average of 290 pounds. I wouldn't like to see him under that pressure. There must be something that the stunting defense of the Galaxies are doing to put the pressure on Witkowski that he is not used to.
Well, we have third and 10. They're going to have to get out of this trouble that they're in on their own end zone. In fact, they've just used another 35-second penalty, which means they've got half the distance from here to the goal line. You can't get penalized more than the goal line, so from the 3-yard line, they'll get half of the distance penalized. They'll end up under 1.5. Third down. I wouldn't say that's the happiest coach I've ever seen.
No, I think he's certainly looking very, very angry at what's going on out there, and they couldn't get any closer to the end zone, and they have to be careful or they'll get a sack here.
We have third and about 12 yards. As number 96, Chris Williams, came in and caught number 22, Jarrett, as he was moving from that H-back position.
Yes, it looked like a long trap they were trying to go, and I find that difficult to understand why they called that, because the back has to run a good 10 yards in the backfield to even transcend the line before he crosses it. So, strange play calling there.
We have Frankfurt 2, London 0 at the end of the very first quarter of the inaugural game of the World League of American Football.
Here we see here number 22 on the left-hand side is an H-back or a flanker back, and he's going to take the ball on a handoff and go over the right side of the line, over the guard tackle position. Here you see, and he's stuffed here by 96 and 57 with no chance. Chris Williams getting the first points ever of the World Football League on a 2-point sack and safety.
Well, that's not quite what Coach Kennan was expecting. We can see now the Monarchs have to kick the ball off again, as rules by the safety. Frankfurt takes the ball in on their 28-yard line, and a nice run coming upfield. Number 87, brought down by number 99, Nigel Hoyt, one of the British players who are now playing with the London Monarchs.
Looks like Nigel Hoyt has found a starting position on the special teams, because we've seen him out there several times along with Victor Ubedijk, and it's good to see these guys get on special teams and start on that division.
Well, he's made his first tackle as a professional player, so good luck to him from here on in. As the Frankfurt Galaxy come out, first and 10.
Here we see the German commentator talking to Chris Williams on his 2-point, and we're going to miss some of the play here, but they're going through how he scored the first ever points, a historic 2-point sack and safety for the Galaxy, and who knows what's going to happen, whether they're going to go on to win from that.
Well, he just put his name in the history books as the first ever points in the first ever game of the New World League. He looks like a happy man. Second down, coming out, Perez over with one single setback and 4 wide receivers. Quick step, looks over, slanted for a very quick passing plan to number 89, brought down by the strong safety, Dan Crossman. That slant-in pattern should work a lot. That's just Bartello comes over quickly from the right-hand side. The cornerback doesn't get a chance to set up. Lee, that was number 89, coming in from the right-hand side.
Quick little slant pattern, excellent high percentage pass, and he's making well use of it, Perez.
First and 10 from their own 34. Another quick drop back, almost intercepted as the safety came over, looking at that ball. He was looking again for number 89, as Dan Crossman, number 31, got one hand on it, not quite able to pull it in.
Crossman in practice during the week was looking very, very sharp, and there you saw a one-hand grab. He nearly dragged it in. That was a timing pattern that was just a bit away.
Mr. Elway doesn't look to be exceptionally happy right now. He's got his hands on his hips. He does have a 2-point lead.
Now that's what I got to know. He just...
Perez dropping back 7 yards. Downfield, a long pass just over the heads of number 25 and number 87 Lee. Number 25 being Steve Bartello. Coming out of the backfield.
Good pressure, Lance, there up the middle, and the Monarchs defense is starting to click a bit more because Perez had to hurry that ball. He had to throw it up and away because he was throwing into high coverage.
Hurry!
I don't know if our viewers at home can hear that. Hurry.
Let's go!
But that is the coach telling his players a little bit quicker, a little more effort, please.
Takes them a while to get into this 35-second rule, Lance.
Perez dropping back, dancing feet, looking around, brings the ball down, goes upfield, gets hit by number 31. Dan Crossman takes that hit, leans forward 1 more yard for a first down. Quarterbacks don't normally like to get hit by strong safeties, but he did that to get 1 extra yard and get the first down. First time we've seen a quarterback bring the ball down and go running. Take us through, Wayne.
Here we see Perez going back. He sees the coverage. Too well covered. He takes off and runs with the ball, and here's where Crossman is so effective. He comes back from his free safety position, strong safety position, and makes the excellent hit. He bounces forward. Excellent effort by the quarterback to get an extra yard.
Perez looking quickly to the right on yet another slanted. Very difficult to stop. This quick coming in from the right-hand side where the receiver takes 1 step and slants to the right. That was number 88, Gordon, coming in from the right side.
They're starting to hit those quick patterns, 90 series or quick ins or quick slants, and it's causing a lot of concern because you don't know whether the wide receiver is going to stop and go and have a fade on you or whether he's going to go for a quick in.
Second down, about 4 yards to go. Here he comes, Baker coming around the left side, outrunning the linebacker, getting the first down, getting knocked out of bounds by Kenny Sale, the linebacker, number 51, having picked up the first down.
I think Baker is starting to find his feet a bit in this game here, and he's motoring really well. He nearly turned the corner there, and Sale had to really make an excellent tackle to get him out of bounds. Here they come up to the huddle again.
Timeout, Galaxy, when he saw those backs coming in for a blitz. Welcome back. back as we pick up 3rd and 1 after the timeout. Perez over the center, 3rd down, 1 yard to go.
Yes, I think Monarchs are going to have to pick themselves up a bit here, Lance, because they're not starting to perform as we expected them to.
Early days, Wayne, early days. Rolling out to the right, looking, not looking long enough. Brought down in the backfield yet again by Roy Hart, number 75, Mr. Action Man himself.
Excellent stun by Hart there. He beat his man clear. Center didn't get the block on him. You can see him here penetrate well. It looks like the center was on a rollout or on a special assignment, because it comes in and makes a great play. Hart backed up by 53. Brown, Maryland Brown.
Perez looking downfield yet again. Timing pattern throwing, just slightly overthrowing 87 Jay Johnson. Johnson seems to be right now Perez's favorite receiver. He goes to him every time he is in 3rd down with long. It's been Johnson the man. Slightly overthrown then.
Hurry, hurry, hurry.
You hear the coach trying to get that 35-second rule into these guys, and it's very difficult when you're used to 40 seconds.
Yeah. Hustle, Mike.
You better hurry up, Mike. Coach just told you to. Quick drop back. Again looking deep on the timing pattern, this time to the other side, but yet again to Johnson. First it was Johnson left, then it was Johnson right. Both times patterns, both times timing patterns, both times just over the head of the receiver.
They had him in double coverage this time, had the strong safety on him, and they had a cornerback on him, so it didn't have much chance to catch the ball there, so the ball was thrown up and away.
Well, we now have our field goal team on. We seem to have an injury down in the field. We have our field goal team on. And the first quarter stats are showing on a 0-0 score. We have no first downs by either the Monarchs or Frankfurt. Defense is dominating. London's got 18 rush yards, Frankfurt 2. 6 pass yards for London, 15 for Frankfurt, 24 total yards, London 17. Total yards Frankfurt. Defensive battle, Wayne.
Yes, very, very good defensive battle. That's the first quarter stats, but as you know, we're into 2-0 now for Frankfurt, and we're looking at possibly extending that lead with the young German kicker.
Here we are, Maslow trying for the field goal. And the kick is up and good from his own 25. 3 points, Maslow in front of his home crowd. German player brought up from the ranks of the amateur game in Germany. Professional now, 3 points to give Frankfurt Galaxy a 5-0 lead. This is quite against the form books. We in London thought the Monarchs would be favorites, although the Frankfurt Galaxy went into this game being quoted as 5-point favorites. Wayne, are we being slightly disappointed by the Monarchs?
I think that maybe they believed a bit more of their credits than they should have. And if you look at this field goal, I mean, that had another 50 yards to go. That man's got a good right foot, Lance, and I think he's got a long way to go in this game.
Hello, Mom. I just scored 3 points. What do you think of that?
I think everybody in Germany knows that he scored 3 points there, because the whole stadium is just rocking.
Now he gets a kick it again. Again, another name in the book. Frankfurt 5, London 0, as the Monarchs have yet to get their offensive machine anywhere near what Coach Larry Tennant thought they would be doing.
Yes, they must be disappointed with their nerves, because the Galaxy have certainly come on strong here in the second quarter and are really pushing the Monarchs to might be a very surprising defeat.
Ball back, fielded by number 22, Garrett, comes up to about the 18-yard line. He's hit and fumble yet again. Referees, are they going to call that play down?
I don't think his knees were down. I think that was a fumble.
Well, if it was, it got recovered by one of the Monarchs because it's a Monarch ball. First and down from about their own 21.
Yes, that was a lucky call there because I think that was a legitimate fumble, Lance, but they got away with that one.
About 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mikowski back to Alexander on a draw play, doesn't get much at all, gets about up to the line of scrimmage, hit by number 57, Yepi Pau.
For the man who played for Denver, he's looking a bit ponderous out there, Lance, because I don't think he's got the quick feet I expected from someone to be playing fullback for Denver.
Well, I think perhaps Denver used him more as a running back than as a blocking back than running back. He seems to hesitate before going for those holes. As a result, he's getting caught in his own backfield a lot. 2nd and 8. Witkowski dropping back, throwing to the right side, caught by number 85, Sargent. Knocked out of bounds by number 40, McCoy, the cornerback.
Excellent reception by Sargent there. Good pair of hands, good soft hands. I know you like to see that. Here we see the German interviewer just talking it through with the German kicker in front of his home audience and going through how he scored the first points for his team.
I think we just may have witnessed the very first down of the London Monarch offense just there. As they line up, Witkowski brings them out. A draw play yet again. We now have number 32 in the backfield. They brought in David Smith. Perhaps he's a little bit quicker getting to the line of scrimmage than his predecessor, Jeff Alexander.
Yes, he certainly looked a lot faster to the ball and out of that fullback position or single setback position and looked much sharper.
We have it offside. Looking for a stunt. Number 76, Mike Teaser, playing nose tackles, trying to get a very quick run to get in that backfield. 5 yards against Frankfurt Galaxy.
Offsides.
Yeah,
Defense.
Mike Teaser, the 6'2", 258 graduate out of Michigan, played with the Colts in the 90s, in 1990, but as a free agent, but didn't make the team, and he's trying again here as a starting position to make the NFL through the World League.
Well, for a big man, he's a very, very, very quick, a little bit too quick on that play. Witkowski going back, handing back to Smith, who comes up and is now beginning to grind out that yardage that we expected. Tackled by number 50, Kevin Woolfolk. Little bit of testy nerves going out their way. And do you think the teams are a little bit overexcited?
Yes, but I think certainly the expectations that was expected of Alexander aren't forthcoming, and Smith looks a much better back out there, although Alexander's out there as well, so maybe they're playing a two-set back.
Witkowski back, going to Smith for the third time. Nice little move, gets off about 3 yards, brought down by number 22, the cornerback, Mark Seal.
Yes, he's a punishing runner, and he takes people on. He's not looking for holes. He's just prepared to run people over, break through into the secondary, and then go off to the races. He certainly seems a much, much better back.
Witkowski bringing him up again, looking to go downfield even further. Get the first score on the board. Drop back under pressure, brought down by number 50, the linebacker Kevin Woolfolk. Coming yet again on the blitz, not being picked up on a blocking assignment. Little bit caught, wasn't sure what was going on. Now looking to his coach at the sidelines.
Screen right.
Woolfolk, the 6'1", 230 Portland State graduate, played 89 in the CFL with the Argos, and then went on to the NFL in 1990 and played with the Redskins. Here we see him as a starting inside linebacker for the World League Galaxy.
Kowski dropping back, looking right, throwing a screen to number 32 Smith, going upfield, nice little run, being knocked out by number 27 Starworth, number 78 Hendricks. About 20 yards on that play. They're going to Smith more and more. Is this a change in the fortunes of the London Monarchs, Wayne?
It certainly is. They brought Smith in very early. Their game plan after the first quarter wasn't working with Alexander. Here you see an excellent screen, nice little soft touch. And here, he's not looking for open space. He says, I'm going to run you over. He's a load, Lance. He's a load.
Well, you notice number 27, Starworth, didn't really want to take on that big running back. He did get down low, but his heart wasn't in it.
Here we see the referees just talking over a point. Lance trying to get over some specific refereeing situation here. We can't hear or have the opportunity of hearing what they're saying, but it's nice to see those boys confer.
I don't think, Wayne, that the World League yet has the helmets installed in the quarterback's helmet where the coach will call directly to him. Do you think this will have an influence on the game later on when you get the helmets installed?
Second down.
With microphones?
Most certainly, because I think there's a lot of confusion out there with the early play calling, and they're not understanding exactly what the coach is calling, and et cetera, et cetera. I think once the helmet communication's in, I think you'll find a lot speedier game.
Second down, about 9 to go. Kowski back, looking again, throwing it to his running back. Number 22, Garrett, coming out, hit by Keith McCoy.
6'2" Garrett out of Princeton. He's one of 3 brothers that played for Princeton, and he won last year. He won the Ivy League Player of the Year. He's an excellent player and looking to make his establishment in this World League and hopefully go on to the NFL from there.
Monarchs ball on the 35-yard line. 3rd and 1. Back to Smith, high stepped over, lunged forward, picked up his extra first down, stopped by number 55, Pat Moore.
I think the whole influence of this game is changing with Smith coming in. Did you see that high step? That was like a Walter Payton there from a fullback, Lance. That was a very good play.
Walter Payton, Roger Craig. It's not important who has that high step as long as you get the first down. Referee's timeout. He's going to bring out the measuring sticks. There are some other changes, Wayne, as we watch this measuring, one of which, as I've mentioned before, was in the grasp, where a quarterback in the NFL, if a referee decides that a defensive player has his hands on the quarterback, he will blow the play dead. The World League has decided to let the quarterback see if he can still throw the ball, even though he may be being held on to by a defensive man. Does this put a quarterback more at risk, or does it keep the game flow going?
I think it keeps the game flow going, and also makes the quarterback get out of that pocket and run with the ball a bit more.
4th down and inches on the Galaxy 34. Kowski drives to the right-hand side, following the center in his guard. I think he's got about a foot and a half, just enough for his first down. Should be first down, London, on about the 28-yard line.
Yeah, he followed the big Doug Marone there, number 59, 6'5", 300 pounds. And if I was going to follow somebody through that huddle, I definitely would want to follow a 300-pounder.
Well, if you look at that front line, they're all about 300 pounds, and this is the line that we expect. Watch the surge going forward here, Wayne.
Yes, you can see they're all just pushing back the Galaxy here, and you find now that they've got some intention about them, and they've got some purpose, and they're really making that drive and leg drive work.
Well, I think you called it earlier. Smith coming on, making an impact. Maybe he gets his offensive line fired up a little bit more. When a running back begins getting some big yards, the offensive line gets a little bit charged up as well. They seem to be firing out, making quite a bit of heavy contact on there. As we have a first down on about the 33-yard line. Bukowski back, fake draw, being pursued. Completed pass, out for about 6 yards. Out on his own 29-yard to Garrett, the H-back, coming out of the backfield yet again. Hit by number 40, Keith McCoy.
It's a second catch for Garrett. And he seems to be very versatile, playing in the backfield, catching or running the ball. And it's quite a sustained drive here the Monarchs are putting on. And it's probably the first sustained drive of the game of either side.
Well, again, it's back to, I think, that Smith and the offensive line are beginning to handle the Frankfurt Galaxy defense a little more aggressively. 2nd and 7. A draw play to Smith as he fights, trying to get back up to the line of scrimmage. He was caught in the backfield by Chris Williams, number 96. He fought off a tackle, kept going up. Williams finally nailed them where Smith had not quite gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
The second effort there saved a big loss there, and that's what I like about this young man. He seems to have much quicker feet than Alexander, and he's certainly making an impact, Lance.
Bukowski brings him up again. Brinson in action. A draw play right up the middle. Absolutely nobody between Smith and the goal line. Touchdown, London Monarchs.
Excellent play there. I think you'll find if we get a replay on that, Lance, that the Galaxy were on a blitz, and Tempo Pow, I think how I would pronounce it as a good old Canadian. I think he just blew past Smith, and Smith was able to run unattended into the end zone for the first touchdown for the London Monarchs, and the first touchdown of the World League, Lance.
If you can take it through, Wayne, you're absolutely right. Number 57 blitz and missed.
Yes, you see, blitzed and totally missed the running back Smith, and he's unattended it right into the end zone. Excellent play all around. Use blitz and you gamble, and you do have to pay for it, Lance.
Smith has made quite an impact. Watching this line go, the line has turned everybody out. Smith hesitates just a second, comes upfield. There are absolutely no defensive backs. He holds the ball a little bit like a loaf of bread. He must not be under any pressure, but that is a great feeling for that first touchdown, London Monarchs.
That's it. And the wide receivers did a great job on that play, Lance, because if you notice, they drove him wide, and that left the middle wide open.
We now have 6-5 London Monarchs, 7-5, because we've just had our point after by Phil Alexander. 7 Monarchs, London Monarchs 7, Frankfurt Galaxy 5. We'll see you after this short break in about 30 seconds time.
The line here, it's what happens when you blitz and you get caught, and certainly an excellent play by Smith.
We have the London cheerleaders here at Eurosport seeing their first ever touchdown as they anticipate their first game coming up in London next Sunday.
Here we see the special teams lining up, Lance, and I think you'll see 3 British players on this special teams.
Taken by Baker down the middle, hit at an early, rolls about 7 feet, hit by number 29, Victor Ubebidaiki, a player out of the British amateur leagues.
Assisted also by Nigel Hoyt. Excellent play there with also the kicker from...
We have, Wayne, on that field, we had 3 British players from the amateur leagues. Do you think that they're going to have much of an impact, not only this game, but in games to come?
Well, I certainly think so, Lance, because they've made the starting team of a professional team.
Perez back, over the top, take it in. Referee saying an incompleted pass. The ball was never in control.
Yes, I was just saying, Lance, there's 3 guys that have made the special teams, which is a legitimate team on any professional football team, and they beat out other players to get there. So British players are not just cannon fodder. They're not just also runs. They're guys who can play football at the highest level.
Well, we're seeing a bit of that now, and as you know, we have about 7,000 other British amateur players who must be watching this game thinking, I bet I could do that.
Yes, I'm sure you're right. And here we're going through an interview on the sidelines here with the German commentator talking Smith through his touchdown. And we're just trying to go through. Here we see Smith, who was in the pros with the Eagles. And he's an excellent young player out of Western Kentucky, and we'd like to see a lot more of him in the backfield for the Monarchs here.
Well, I don't think he'll have much of an easier 28-yard touchdown run than he had just there. Once he got through the line of scrimmage, absolutely no one between him and the goal line. Getting back to our British players, the Frankfurt Galaxy has 4 Operation Discovery players, as does the London Monarchs. Do you see in the future more and more British players and German players coming in and eventually replacing all of the Americans?
I see every opportunity for them to do it, and it's up for their willpower and desire to play at this level. 4 British players are doing it. 2 British players are in New York. So why not have British players on all the teams? Certainly they are playing at the standard that can do it.
We have the Mexican wave being done in Frankfurt, or maybe you call this the Frankfurt wave. Perez coming back, throwing deep, looking to the right side, just slightly overthrown. Number 87, his favorite receiver, Jay Johnson.
Yeah, they're trying to work the outside on the corners here against Johnson. He looks like their best athlete on the field. He seems to be doing everything when it comes to passing.
3rd and about 10 yards here. Monarchs have just taken the lead. Very important to see what Frankfurt's going to respond to. Perez dropping back, going over the middle, almost intercepted. Knocked down out of the hands of Johnson, almost intercepted by the cornerback, number 25, Howard Fagans.
Yes, he threw in a deep coverage there. Free safety was sitting back there waiting, and he had one-on-one coverage as well. And I don't think Perez saw that coverage sitting up. As you can see here, it's gone over the top, and the man's just sitting back there. That was almost a suicide ball because they were sitting there back there waiting. Certainly Mr. Dodge from Dodge City was waiting for a shootout there.
A high snap, just got the punt up in the air. Over his shoulder, taking number 81. Brennan coming back, heading for the sidelines. Brought it back to about the 29-yard line.
We've seen that in the British leagues a bit with a man by the name of Atlas, who stands there and looks like he's not going to run with the ball, then suddenly takes off on those kicks, Lance. That's certainly something we've seen over here before, haven't we?
We have, not quite at the highest level we're seeing it at now. As this game progresses, Wayne, do you see the London Monarchs, who've actually got their touchdown on the board? Frankfurt has not yet scored. Do you see the game changing slightly? Do the Monarchs seem to be more in control?
I think they've changed their game plan by putting Smith in, and that stepped up the whole offensive situation for the Monarchs. They're in a different gear now. They're very confident, and they're moving the ball up and down the field.
We have a screenplay coming out to number 20, Alexander, being hit by number 78, Kevin Hendricks, for about a 2-yard gain.
Yes, even Alexander seems to be moving quicker with the ball there on that screenplay. He was well tackled, but seemed to drag forward for 2 yards.
2nd and 8. As we take another view of this rather large, about 25,000 crowd in Frankfurt. 3 receivers on the top of your screen. Just slightly overthrown, and a great hit by that cornerback, number 28, who, just as the receiver was reaching up for the ball and exposing his ribs, number 28, Timothy Brody, introduced himself to the man and said, "Don't catch that ball."
God damn it.
Yes, I think Coach there had the same sentiments. I don't think he might have been throwing to that man because he was well covered, and that was a beautiful classic play where the DB hits the wide receiver at the same time the ball comes.
Witkowski on 3rd and 8. A draw play. Alexander is down. But that ball is loose. Is that a fumble? Or his knees down again? Referees are in there. Hand fighting going on under that. Let's see how the referees call it. Was his knee down there, Wayne?
I think that was a fumble, Lance. I think that it was a case of the slow feed Alexander not being able to get out of the way of the tackler there. I think you'll find that's a fumble.
Well, if it was recovered by the Monarchs because
I think you'll see a change of possession here, Lance. I think the Monarchs got it last, but I think the Galaxy got it. Whoops, even I can make mistakes.
Monarchs punting, that's quite right, Wayne, a little bit tricky. Monarchs punting out of their own 28-yard line with 38 seconds to go. Taken on a fair catch by number 87 for the Frankfurt Galaxy.
This number 87 seems to be doing an awful lot of work for the Galaxy on all fronts for him, and he certainly seems to be one of their best athletes.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense, number 67, automatic first down.
Well, that'll set him back a bit. Roughing the kicker means basically you're not allowed to touch the kicker after he's released the ball. If you hit him, you automatically give the team a first down. You negate what you've run back the ball to, and basically the rule is do not touch a kicker.
Yes, that'll keep the drive going. As we were saying before, J.J. Johnson seems to be the guy doing everything. He plays both outside wide receiver spots, and he's also running back kicks, so he seems to be their best athlete on the field.
Monarchs with 1st and 10 in their 40. Bukowski dropping back, hit from behind, didn't see the man coming in. Number 72, Mike Mraz. Coming in from the right side, defensive tackle. Witkowski looking downfield. I think you'll see, if we take us through it, Wayne, as we line up again. Here he is, number 72, lining up on this play.
Yeah, Mraz gets around his block, Theo Adams there, and he will not be happy with that, old Theo, because he should have pushed the man back into the end zone, but he let him go around the back of him, and a quarterback does not like to get hit from behind.
Well, I think the offensive line coach of the London Monarchs will have a word to say about that as well. Witkowski coming off for a last-minute chat with Brennan. What do you think of his first half so far?
He started to get the ball going as soon as Smith came out, but I don't know how effective he is because he hasn't completed that many passes. He's got the most experience as an NFL quarterback. He's been around for a long time, but he hasn't really made everything happen, although Smith seems to have got the ball going down the field a bit on a running play. We'll like to see what happens, whether coach decides to change the quarterback later or try all his options.
Drop play, and Smith yet again going over the left side, turning upfield, getting about 7 yards. Brought down by Kevin Hendricks from the right side. A little bit of excitement going on as these players still are working a fair amount of nervous energy out of their systems.
Yes, it's all good feeling, though. It's just a bit of a rough and tumble in the pile there. But I can't help but say that Smith seems to be the difference in this ball club. When you see him get the ball, he certainly seems to run and have a lot more authority.
I think, Wayne, he's a lot quicker than what we've seen with Alexander earlier. He's hitting the holes quicker. The offensive line, if you ask them to a man, would love to have a back get there just as fast as possible. They can only hold those blocks for half a second, and Smith seems to be utilizing their blocks a lot better than Alexander did in his first half.
Yes, I think you're right, Lance. We just heard the coach call in a Hail Mary play there. There's only a few seconds left in the first half to see what he can do on a long pass, Bukowski. We've never seen him throw a nice long bomb.
A Hail Mary, for some of those new audience we have, is when the quarterback throws the ball up in the air and does a lot of praying. He throws it as far as he can downfield. Calling a Hail Mary as he throws it. Bukowski back, looking downfield, throwing the ball up. Now's when you say Hail Mary. Oh, didn't quite get that pass.
Yes, that nearly went through two DB's hands into number 80 there, and could have been a very, very good catch. Unfortunately, Andrew Riley just couldn't get a handle on it, but a well-thrown ball by Wachowski.
They've got about 8 seconds to go as London is going into the second half of this match with the lead of 7-5, having scored their first touchdown and beginning to take a little more of an aggressive stance. Wachowski dropping back, looking deep, slipping a bit in the grasp. Shake it off. Just got rid of the ball before he got hit to end the first half of this exciting game that we've seen so far. Wayne, what are your comments on the play of the London Monarchs offensive line and the Frankfurt defense?
Yeah, they're starting to get on track here, and I think when the coach gets them in the dressing room, he'll say, guys, we're doing quite well, but let's get on with it.
We'll see you after the half. Frankfurt Galaxy to kick off. Taken on the 8-yard line by Brinson, coming upfield, going to the sidelines. Very good start for the London Monarchs. They've come out a little bit healthier, a little bit happier in the second half. First time he took the ball, a little tentative. That time, he knew where he wanted to go.
I almost thought I was watching Miami there and at Thrill Hill or Notre Dame and the Rocket there. He really broke one there, Lance, and it looked like he was off to the races for a touchdown.
We have, Wayne, a new quarterback coming in. Oops.
Here we see Rinson running to the outside. Good block there to spring him, and off he goes up the sideline. Great play by Brinson, who seems to be their action man.
Throwing to the left, looking for Garrett, incomplete. We have a new quarterback, number 10, Stan Gelbaugh, brought in for Wachowski. Whether or not this is a coaching change or whether or not he promised each quarterback the first half, for us, we'll get a chance to compare the two quarterbacks who are fighting for the job of starting quarterback for the London Monarchs.
Yes, you see the coaches having a little bit of trouble getting their plays in because they don't have the helmet communications yet.
Gelbaugh going back, little short pass. 22 going downfield, almost got away from the touchdown. Brought back from behind from number 72, Mike Mrez.
Now you see why Garrett was chosen Ivy League Player of the Year. Starting to show his heels to the defenders a bit there. Out of the H-back, an excellent swing pass from the new quarterback Gelbeck, and he seems to have found the target well. It looked like there was a middle linebacker blitz on there, and certainly put an extra pressure on the quarterback.
Here we have Stan Gelbaugh, 6'3", 23 years old, leading the offense. Pitch out to Smith, brought down in the backfield by number 53, Alexander.
Gelbaugh, quarterback out of Maryland. He was a 6th-round draft pick for the Cowboys in the '86 season. Played in the CFL with the Rough Riders, and he's had a raft of teams in the NFL, Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati. So he's certainly got a lot of experience.
Smith showing 8 rushes for 45 yards and 1 important touchdown. Draw play, keeps his feet, fights back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down by number 57, Powell, having been hit in the backfield by his number 78, Kevin Hendricks.
I'm really impressed with this guy, Lance. Yeah, you saw there he had 3 men on him. He still managed to squirm free and get back to the line of scrimmage. He certainly has got the presence on this field to take them forward and get yardage.
Third down and about 12 to go. Going downfield, caught by number 85, wide receiver, Tony Sargent.
Excellent pass from Gelbrecht there. Actually, beautifully thrown ball, and it's certainly a well caught ball. I don't really know. He hasn't been in the game very much, Sargent, and we don't know whether he's playing from a wide out position or a split end position there, but well thrown ball.
The London Monarchs getting their offensive machine back in full flow. I think are moving right down the field as he takes out another snap, comes back, looks at Smith. Smith piles over the right side, back to the line of scrimmage. Stopped there by number 72, Mike Mraz.
Excellent defensive play there. They got him from behind and certainly smothered him there.
It'll be interesting to see the statistics at the halftime between what we can expect from Witkowski and now Gelbra in. Again, these men are fighting for the starting position, both trying to impress their head coach. Front down. Number 57, Yeppy Powell on a blitz. Quarterback was actually throwing the ball forward, so to go down as an incompleted pass, but he was quite surprised by the speed of number 57 up the middle.
Yes, I've had a couple of line stunts with that young man, and certainly he's playing very heads-up ball as a defender. Linebacker blitz there, he certainly split the guard center gap and put all the pressure on that the young quarterback wants to see in a long time.
3rd and about 10. Pass outside to Andrew Riley. Not quite enough for a first down. That'll bring up 4th down and about 4 yards. Knocked out of bounds by Keith McCoy, number 40.
They're trying to put the ball out in the flats there, make the wide receivers the speediest young men on the field, one-on-one with the cornerbacks, and then make it a foot race to the end zone. Good play by the cornerback there to force him out of bounds. Certainly so close to the goal line.
We have Phil Alexander going for a field goal from about, looks like the 15-yard line. It's up and it's good. 3 points, Monarchs. Monarchs 10, Frankfurt Galaxy 5. This is to a break. We shall see you as soon as the Monarchs come back for the kickoff. As Alexander kicks off for the London Monarchs, now supporting a 10-5 lead. Picked up on the 2-yard line by number 88. Up the sidelines and finally brought out on the 40-yard line by number 88. Cedric Gordon brought that ball upfield, missed one tackle, ran up 38 yards on the return.
I don't know whether you noticed who tackled him on that play. It sounds like I'm a Smith fan club, but number 32 made the tackle on the special teams. He seemed to be playing all over today, Lance.
Well, as you said earlier, Wayne, he's an impact player. Maybe he can impact the defense as well. Perez going downfield, bobbled and finally dropped by Todd Young. No, that was Cedric Gordon, the wide receiver, number 88. Had the ball, bobbled it, was met by number 53, Marlon Brown, the linebacker.
He certainly put a hit on him. He certainly knew that he was going to catch the ball, and he had to pay the penalty if he was going to catch it, but certainly knocked the ball out of his hands.
2nd and 10. Baker on the sweep. Baker on a sweep. Baker on a sweep, and finally knocked out of bounds by the free safety, number 33, Dedrick Dodge.
Now you're seeing certainly NFL quality there, and Baker, who turned the corner on the cornerback, whoever had coverage on that position, blew it because he turned the corner with ease there and made well ground up the sideline.
Well, I think you'll see that lead block. Number 67 took out number 31, the cornerback. Number 67, a pulling guard, made that play happen.
Tony Baker, the Cleveland Brown stalwart, seems to certainly be showing his class out here.
Perez completed pass, basically back to the line of scrimmage, over the middle, looking deep, unloading the ball over the middle to number 89, Lee.
Certainly Crossman's playing one heck of a game out there today, Lance. He's back in deep safety coverage, and he's also in run pursuit as well. So he's playing both ends of the ball here, run and pass, and doing an excellent job. Another good hit there by him.
We have yet to see a Frankfurt touchdown. Coach Elway doesn't look to be the happiest man over there. Would you be changing your game plan at all?
Yes, I think I'll be doing something now. We're getting deep into the third quarter, and they don't seem to be moving their offense. They got some influence early in the game, but they're not doing anything now. I'd look to start to get out to the tight end a bit more, but more traditional sets.
Perez dropping back, throwing to the sidelines, complete, just in front of the marker. Just perhaps a yard short, Norton, a yard short of a first down.
Here we see the German commentator talking to one of the German cheerleaders, very proud to be out there in front of her team the first game.
Pitch to Baker. Nances around, gets back to the line of scrimmage, met by 3 of the London Monarch defense. Do you think this Monarch defense is beginning to get fired up? The offense seems to be more in control. Can you comment on the defense versus the Galaxy offensive line?
Well, I'm starting to get very pleased to see the swarming to the ball, Lance. If you notice, there was 3 men on the ball carrier there, and they seem to swarm to the defense, to the ball carrier, and that's what we all like to see as a coach.
Little confusion on the wide receivers. I don't think that number 89 was set just there. Completed pass, ran out of bounds. Completed pass to number 88. Cedric Gordon, wide receiver, coming out of the right-hand side, taken out of bounds by the cornerback, number 25, Fagans.
Here we see what they're trying to do is drive the 2 cornermen deep and put an underneath man there in the soft position. They achieved it very well there.
I saw the flag going down. I think that's because number 88 moved just before the ball was snapped. You're supposed to freeze for 1 second, or at least it be immobile when the ball is snapped. I think we'll find that he jumped up to the line of scrimmage and was not in a stopped position. Perez bringing him back up, looking to go downfield. Dropping back, looking downfield, throwing deep, just touched over the hands at the 25-yard, broken up by number 25, the left cornerback, Howard Fagans.
Yes, that was a tip ball there, Lance. It's anybody's ball. He nearly got his hands on it. Could have been the first interception in the World League.
It looks like a studious bunch of coaches there in the Frankfurt room. If they're the offensive coaches, I think their problems are surmounting. They don't seem to be able to move this ball consistently. Hunting from his 50. Oh, it brought down on the Monarchs 1-yard line by number 31, McKee. That's twice they've taken this ball down. Talking about kickers, we talked earlier this week to Phil Alexander, the British kicker, about soccer and American football. And this is what he had to say.
Quite so regimented as American football. I mean, here it's a lot more organised, and I suppose with the more personnel you have to be to get things done. And the dressing room banter and the team spirit is very similar, to be honest with you. You get your fair amount of stick flying around, and people are given a hard time for various things, what they do and the clothes they wear and things like that. So that's basically the same. As far as the actual game's concerned, my own personal role is quite a bit different. If I could use an analogy to say that it's like in soccer, it's like going on as a substitute, and your first kick is a penalty. I mean, you've got to be warmed up, you know what you've got to be doing, and you've got to have your mind tuned in.
Phil Alexander, of course, had been a soccer player for Norwich City before he began his career in American football. As the Monarchs start from their own 2-yard line. Coming outside, off left tackle for a gain of about 5 yards.
We see a much more traditional offense here, Lance, where they got somebody to run the ball out. They gave it to Smith. He got the 5 yards to get them out of that dangerous zone right on the goal line where they could have given up another safety. I would have liked to see them do that in the first half.
Well, there's no doubt Smith has got this offensive line excited. I'm coming, boys. Just give me a hole to run through, and I'll run through it. Second and about 5. Little movement on the right side there, and I think it was number 67 on the Monarchs jumping a little bit early.
Yes, I think both sides are getting very keyed up.
Number 67, offense, second down.
With the so close, Lance, they're trying to dominate both sides now. Defense is trying to dominate the London Monarchs and try to pin them down, try to get another 2-point safety as they did in the first half.
We have on that Frankfurt Galaxy side, they've now put in number 70, Hempel, who's from the German Amateur League, playing his first game as a professional football player as well. Monarchs coming out, 3rd down, 10 to go. Just and caught, taken by Horton, number 86, going down the sidelines. Touchdown, Monarchs!
Excellent play there by Horton. He literally stole the ball out of the defender's hand out of McCoy. McCoy had him 1-for-1 going down the sideline. If we get a replay on that, you'll be able to see it. The boys doing the boogie in the end zone. The offensive line are very pleased here. Here we see their playback. He's streaking down the line. It's just an all-out streak, and he just literally takes the ball out of the defender's hands. Look at that. He's falling to try to get it. Excellent, excellent concentration. Gets the ball, and he's off to the races for the second touchdown on the Monarchs.
A 98-yard touchdown reception. And the point after attempt is good. The London Monarchs are beginning to take this game a little more seriously than the Frankfurt Galaxy.
That's going to be an awful hard statistic to beat, Lance, because there's an awful long passer-run touchdown by the Galaxy. An excellent play in the first game, don't you think?
I do. I also think 17-5 is making them feel a lot better in this quarter than in the first quarter. And tomorrow's game, we have the Barcelona Dragons versus the New Jersey Knights, coming to us from Barcelona, Spain. At 7:30 in Europe, 6:30 in the UK, here on Eurosport.
Yes, that's an exclusive by Eurosport, Lance, and we're very proud to be part of the coverage here.
What a lovely statistic. 2 plays, 97 yards, touchdown. Taken by Baker in his own end zone. Tucked out and fumbled. And recovered by the London Monarchs. With Victor Ubadaki and Nigel Hoyt both pointing toward the end zone, the Monarchs are taking control of this game.
That's an excellent play. Two British boys going down and tackling the best in the NFL. It's playing Mr. Baker as run back, and they're knocking the stuffing out of him here, knocking the ball out. Excellent play by the Monarchs here, who really got their tails up. Real tenacious hit there. And there's Hoyt going for the ball, followed by Ubadaki.
Well, as you can see here, he attempts to go inside. He's hit first by number 56 and then by number 42, who jarred the ball out. Free for all, London Monarchs ball, somewhere about the 12-yard line.
Look to the Monarchs here to really punish them quickly.
Fake looking downfield, throwing incomplete, looking for 85 Sargent.
Well thrown ball there. The quarterback Gilbert seems to have a lot more presence on the field out there, Lance. The ball seems to be going in much quicker, much more deliberately.
Well, I think you're seeing in the second half a little more what we're going to expect out of the World League as these offenses get their acts together. The London Monarchs are definitely fired up. They're coming off that ball a lot quicker. Completed pass. Hit, brought down rather quickly by the cornerback, number 27. Completed pass to Horton for about 4 yards. Number 27, Cedric Stallworth on the tackle.
Horton is a man we haven't seen too much out here. Certainly he's getting the ball out quickly to him. The 6'1", 196 Arizona State graduate gets the ball here, and he's trying to turn away from the defender and doesn't quite break loose, but an excellent reception from the Arizona graduate.
Just 8 yards to go, and we have a reverse. Wide receiver reverse coming to the outside. Touchdown Monarchs. Number 81, Dana Brinson on a reverse.
Great play there, Lance, on a wide receiver reverse from Brinson. He certainly seems to be their big play man out there. Another boogie from the offensive line, and a great play from the Monarchs. Are they fired up?
Well, they've gone from 10 to 5 to 23 to 5 in a very short period of time. Taking us through this play, the wide receiver coming through on the right side.
Yes, here you can see him sprinting out there, and he's got all the pace of anybody on that field. Turns the corner, two Galaxy players break into each other and allow him to score a touchdown. Brinson in the corner, just crossing the goal line.
Well, Alexander's put the ball through. We now have a scoreline of 24 for the London Monarchs, 5 for the Frankfurt Galaxy. And we'll see you after the break.
Yeah, here we see touchdown coming up on the replay. Long 96-yard pass, the greatest pass we've seen for the Monarchs so far today. Gelbeck stands back, has got great presence. Just coming up to the line here. Gets plenty of time from his offensive line, a little bit of pressure on the outside, great strong arm throw, and it's a foot race by the receiver and the defender. Defender drops through his hands the ball to the wide receiver. Horton is off for touchdown, and for a longest play in the history of the World League so far.
Part of the change, I just executed the best that I could.
Here we have the kickoff of the Monarchs leading 24 to 5. And the Monarch defense is beginning to get into this game. As number 53, Marlon Brown, introduced himself to number 88 for the London Galaxies. Wayne, there's no doubt the two impact players have been number 32 Smith and number 10 Gelbau.
Yes, certainly they've raised the whole tempo of the game here, and I certainly think Gelbau could certainly come on and led his troops on in the second half much more effectively than the young quarterback in the first quarter, Wikowski.
Perez back, being chased and almost being thrown down, got the pass away, just barely, being chased by number 53, Marlon Brown.
I don't know whether you happen to notice, but that old man, Crossman, was there again and nearly intercepted the ball on the errant throw from Perez.
This number 32 Smith, why is he making such an impact, Wayne?
I think he's got so much quicker feet than Alexander, and he seems to have so much more presence on the field to know what he should be doing and how he should be doing it.
Here's your wide receivers.
Yeah, here we see the wide receiver Brinson on an excellent sprint to the outside, and the only reason he gets to the end zone, you see two players collide with each other here and gets into the end zone, both trying to make the play. Brinson outsprints them both and into the end zone for a touchdown.
And here we are back with live action with Perez trying to light a fire into the Frankfurt Galaxy from his own 39-yard line. Swing pass to Baker, who trips, gets up, shakes off a tackle, does a lot of work to get basically back to the line of scrimmage.
Certainly we're seeing Baker not being so dominant in this game now, and certainly Frankfurt aren't being able to achieve anything in the second half. I think the whole tempo of the game has swung Monarchs' way, and certainly they're in another tempo and another time frame that the Galaxy can raise themselves to.
Was that
Well, between Smith and Gelbau, they've got the offense fired up. The nose tackle, Hart, has got the defense fired up. Perez back, slips, looks downfield, overthrows. His receiver, Johnson, Gordon.
Crossman here again on the coverage. Ladson, he seems to be everywhere on the field. He's upfield, he's downfield, he's covering the runs, he's covering the passes. He certainly seems to be the best DB back there at the moment.
Well, I think the entire London Monarch team is fired up. I think Jack Elway, as a coach, has got to get his team a little more into this game. They're slowly being ground in the dust, and he doesn't seem to be a happy man. Perez back, looking downfield, complete to number 87. Over the middle, Jay Johnson for a first down against the London defense. The Galaxies are starting to go over the middle. They're not getting any running game going at all. Do you see anything on this pattern, Marine?
Yeah, well, they were trying to use Johnson on the outside, if you remember, and they're trying him deep on both sides. He seemed to be their most athletic man. Now they're asking him to run over the middle, the most dangerous spot for a wide receiver.
Man in motion, pitch to Baker. Slips yet again, goes down at the feet of number 53, Marlon Brown. No gain.
We talked earlier, Lance, about how the offensive lines were stacking up against each other. And you're seeing here the Galaxy's line not being able to dominate the Monarchs' defensive line, whereas the other way it's happening.
Well, this is a crucial drive for the Frankfurt Galaxy. They better get this going, or they're going to be in a receiving end of yet more Monarch pressure. Perez just gets the ball away. Referees will complete by number 25, Bartalo.
Excellent throw over the middle. They're going to have to go over to the middle now with their wide receivers, a very dangerous area, because that's where they get tattooed if they're not careful.
Well, it looks like a hurry-up offense, Wayne. That Frankfurt Galaxy front five doesn't seem to be holding out the Monarchs long enough to get anything going, so it's a quick pass over the middle. Draw play to Baker. Almost broke off. Tackled by the linebacker at number 56.
This is the best sustained drive Galaxy's had in the second half, and they're starting to put quick short passes over the middle together with Baker doing some running, and it could be just what the doctor ordered for the Galaxies here, Lance.
Very important again for Elway to get his team upfield. He's got 1 more yard to go, 3rd and about 1. Terribly important 3rd down play. Fake to Baker, looking downfield, throwing the ball up in the air, and caught for a completed pass at the Monarchs 7-yard line.
Great play by Lee. Great possession reception there. He caught it over the DB's head over Dodge. Excellent play. Here we go. Lee just got the break on it. Dodge is not in his coverage position he should be. Great perception there to catch the ball.
The safety slipped. The Monarchs are in control, and Galaxy are coming. Come back with it shortly. Quarter with the Monarchs leading 24-5. Frankfurt Galaxy are threatening.
Yeah, so the cheerleaders have finally got something to cheer for after the first quarter where the team was out in front. It's all been the Monarchs ever since, and now they've got something really to cheer about.
Galaxy on the Monarch 9. Looking downfield, being chased, throwing, tipped away. Looking for Johnson, just tipped over his head. Todd Young got a hand on it. 2nd down, 9 yards to go for a touchdown.
Lee's out there again. They've got a good crew of wide receivers there with Lee, Todd Johnson, J.J. Johnson, and also Gordon Young and Johnson are all doing the job. They just got to have more time for the quarterback, Perez, to get the ball to them.
Baker trying the right side, getting about 6 yards, getting up to the 4-yard line. Had a defensive man jump offside, but got back before the ball was snapped. About 5 yards for Baker.
Galaxies are making a game of this now. Baker's finding his feet again after some early slips in the 3rd quarter. He's starting to grind out the yards again, Lance, and this could be anybody's ball game now. It's getting very exciting.
Okay, go I right, 32. I right, 32.
Well, we heard an I right 32 being called. I right means basically an I formation. 2 people in the backfield. Usually the first man will block, second man will carry the ball.
And what do we got? 2nd down, and we're on the 3.
They're going to try some influence blocking here by lead blocking for the fullback, going through the line and making a hole for the running back, Lance. And let's see if they can punch some holes in this Monarchs line. But they're looking very tough to me.
Well, it's 3rd and goal. 2 men in the backfield. Dive play by number 45, Jackson, with absolutely no gain. Hit up front by a multitude of the London Monarchs. I think you'll see number 75, Hart, the nose tackle, getting off the bottom. Number 73 getting off the bottom. 3 men there stopped. Number 45, no gain at all.
Seems very little point to be in the eye if you're going to give the ball to the first ball carrier. You want to really lead block that through and make some holes in there for the running back to find some room to get in.
Well, the strength of the I formation is usually the first man through hits a linebacker and the second man carries the ball. On this particular case, they gave it to the first man through on a dive play, but he got absolutely nowhere as the London Monarchs defense is toughening up.
Here we see 3rd down, very close to the goal line, and this is turning out to be a very exciting game. Anybody's ball game at this time. Both sides very keyed up. Elway certainly is.
Third and goal. 24-5 behind. I formation. Second man with the ball. Stopped just before the line of scrimmage. Stopped by Williams. That was Baker going over the middle. Hit by Williams and 95, Mike Renna.
Excellent slashing play for Baker there. Showed the speed that we saw in the first half with him, and he really actually leapt over the line there, trying to cross the goal line. Here we see here, he's absolutely in full motion, takes a running dive, hopes to pierce the defense and cross the goal line. He just manages to fall short.
Fourth and short, Wayne. What do you do, coach? You're behind in the game. What do you do?
Well, after 3 plays of not making it, I'd go around the outside.
Fourth and goal. Perez looks and is caught behind the scrimmage, scrambles and is finally mowed down. That looked like a broken play, Wayne. He went one way, there was nobody to take the ball.
Yes, I think that was a running back error there. Perez is very angry because the running back wasn't there to take the ball. He had to scramble for his life, and that's a very, very poor outing when they got so close. Unfortunate for Galaxy because it would have made it a much better game if they had to score it there. And we see here, he says, hang on a minute, you're supposed to take the ball. And he has to scramble for his life. Everybody on him. He manages to avoid one tackler, tries to reverse field and find something to happen, and he's just absolutely swarmed by the defense.
Well, that was a very important play for Frankfurt, as evidenced by the face of Jack Elway. He knows what that meant. As the Monarchs come out, number 20, Alexander, probing the right side.
You could just see the difference there between Alexander carrying the ball and 23. That was almost, well, it was a professional job done, but there is no difference. There is certainly a lot of difference, I mean to say, between Alexander and Smith when he's back there. You can actually see, without even looking at the numbers, who's got the ball, Alexander or Smith.
Second and 10. Monarchs coming up to the ball. Alexander again, stopped at the line of scrimmage. It looked like number 76, Mike Teeter, coming in there, nose tackle. Alexander doing a bit of a stutter step there in scrimmage. Not going through the hole as quickly as perhaps he should. Third and 10.
As you see a lot of pensive thoughts down there. They've got to get it out of this end zone position, because if they don't, there's certainly Galaxy are in good scoring position if they get the ball anywhere down here.
Stepping back, throwing to complete to Andrew Wiley, number 80, knocked out of bounds for about 4 yards, not enough for a first down. So they'll be punting the ball out of their end zone with a lead of 24-5.
That's excellent play by the defensive back there, who charged down Riley and stopped a small gain there. Whereas one-on-one, he could have been away for a touchdown. Certainly a good play by the defensive back.
We used a little clock and screw it. We got a first down, or we got a completion, kept the ball in play, and didn't screw it up.
And we have a fumble. The snap was incomplete. The ball has been fumbled, picked up by the Frankfurt Galaxy on the London Monarch 5-yard line.
That'll put the cat amongst the pigeons there, Lance, because that's the last thing the Monarchs wanted. They had a good dominant drive. They didn't get what they wanted there, and the last thing they want is the Galaxy on their doorstep with another chance to score.
Well, the special teams are going to take a lot of the credit or the blame for the outcome of this game. We've seen some fumbles, we've seen some punts go awry, and we've seen some long gains. This has definitely given the Frankfurt Galaxy an uplift. Man in motion, Baker probing the right, and getting down to within 1 yard of touchdown. Stopped finally by number 31, Dan Crossman, on the Monarch 1-yard line.
Crossman seems to be making all the big plays back there, but certainly if you notice the speed of Baker there, he's back up to full power now, and that was a slashing drive through the line.
Well, they say a good running back can smell the touchdown pay dirt, and once you get within that 10-yard line, the good running backs somehow find a little bit of extra speed, and I think that's what Baker had there. As second down and goal on the London 1-yard line. Quarterback sneak to the right, didn't get anywhere, flag down, may have had a little jump. He'll stop by number 95, Mike Renner, as Perez went to the right-hand side. I think you'll find that somebody jumped off on the left-hand side. Looked like number 67, Billy Poe.
Yes, again, you got to think about the call there.
Ball start, number 67, offense. Second down.
Got to think about the call there, Lance. Perez isn't known as a good runner. Certainly the offensive line there tried to jump the gun to give him a bit of hand, but when you got a ball carrier like Baker in the backfield, why do you let the quarterback carry it in when Baker has such good slashing runs?
Well, we've got second and goal from the 6-yard line.
Where are they in now? They down in again? No.
Fake draw play, ball up in the air, touchdown Galaxy! Number 80, Young, reached up, took the ball out of the air, got the first touchdown for the Galaxy. Frankfurt was threatening and threatening, given the ball again, finally scored. We now have a new ball game, Wayne.
Yes, that was Todd Young, the second string tight end, the first string tight end, 6'6", 257 out of Penn State. He had a chance with the 49ers in the 90s as a free agent, and here we see great rollout, fake run through the middle, and he just follows the tight end. He's not looking at anybody else, drills it to him at the back of the end zone, and catches the ball for a touchdown.
And the try for the extra point is no good. Off to the right. As the score remains, London 24, Frankfurt 11.
That's the first step wrong by the young German kicker. A bit of nerves there, not very fortunate, didn't get the extra point.
We will see you shortly after the break when we see this score at 24-11 as the game comes alive. The scoreline of 24-11 as they try and get back into this game late in the third quarter. It's taken down about the 15-yard line by number 81, Dana Brinson. Stepped out of bounds. They're calling it back somewhere around the 35-yard line.
Brinson's got a very good turn of speed there. You can see him accelerate up the sideline. Unfortunately, he just stepped his foot out of bounds, but he's certainly going to be an action man on that play on kickoff return, Lance.
Well, they look to 81, number Brinson, as a big play man. Both as receiver and as a kick return man. He averaged 23 yards when he was in the NFL per kickoff return. They expect the same of him in the World League.
Yeah, here you see Todd Young talking to the German commentators about how he was chosen as first string and made his way up through the ranks and fought his way into the starting tight end position, and he proved his coach right by scoring a touchdown today. Excellent player out of Penn State.
Is he talking in German or English, Wade?
Just a fumble and turn the game over.
Gilbach drops back, complete 9 yards to 81, Brinson for about a 9-yard gain, London Monarchs. And coming up tomorrow, Barcelona Dragons versus the New York, New Jersey Knights at 7:30 European time, 6:30 UK time, exclusively on Eurosport. And then next week, the big game, live from Wembley, as the London Monarchs take on the New York, New Jersey Knights at 7 o'clock European time and 6 o'clock UK time. Again, live on Eurosport. As the Monarchs get their drive going again with the 24-11 scoreline, 2nd and 1. Going deep, 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 and oh, just slightly overthrown. Looking for number 86, John Horton.
Excellent play there, good arm, but Gelbrecht, lovely, lovely throw, and one-on-one coverage could have been anybody's ball just over the top.
Well, Gelbrecht's got some lovely stats. 4 completions out of 6 attempts. At 116 yards, 1 touchdown. That's about 30 yards per completion. That's a good enough for any quarterback.
Certainly he's made the difference in the second half, but the whole team has raised itself.
Smith coming through the right-hand side.
I just love to see that man run, Lance. He just is so exciting because any minute you think he's going to break one.
Well, he was following an Alexander block that time. As they went to get their first down, Smith is undoubtedly the impact player. We didn't quite expect him to be as important as he is, but there's no doubt he has turned this game around. That man will be the starter, I'm sure, when the Monarchs come back to London for their first home game. And we have Garrett caught in the backfield, stopped by Jones for about a loss of 2.
There we see Smith doing some lead blocking for Garrett, but penetration by the defensive front stopped Garrett from getting any yardage there.
Looking for about 12 yards. Fake dive, he's rolled right. Complete the pass, and down to about the 36-yard line.
Tony Sargent on the pass, excellent reception. We lost the quarterback there in the backfield, but certainly great presence to be able to find out Tony Sargent. He must have been his third receiver. Excellent reception.
Well, this is the London Monarch coach enjoying himself a bit as he throws in a little misdirection, gets the linebackers frozen, and then goes over the head on a soft pass to one of the receivers. This is the call of a confident coach. And another completion over the middle to number 22, Garrett, coming out of the backfield.
That's about Garrett's third or fourth catch today, and after a few mistakes early on, he's certainly being a good H-back there, being an all-purpose back.
We're seeing the London quarterback having a lot more time, looks a lot more comfortable, planting his feet before he throws, not being hurried. This is a tribute more to the Monarch offensive line. Didn't do the job in the first half, definitely doing the job in the second half. No, incompleted pass, slightly underthrown. Looking for number 86, Horton.
Yes, there he says, my fault, coach, underthrew him, sorry.
17 counter.
Here we see the coach calling counterplay, and it's going to be very interesting to see, Lance, when we get the helmet communications, letting the British fans seeing what the players are being dictated to by their coach and what he wants them to run.
Well, we'll have to get a scoreboard to figure out what some of the plays are going to be. X minus 23 row right doesn't mean a lot to me, Wade. We have probably a delay of game on the 35-second clock again. As the World League gets underway and gets a little more established, I think you'll find that they'll put field clocks down so the quarterback, when he comes over center, can look down the field and see how much time he has on the clock. I know they've installed this in the NFL stadiums over the years, and it helps quarterbacks to be able to see exactly how much time they have before the center is snapped. Here, they're 5 seconds less time, and they don't have a clock that they can measure themselves about. We'll see a little more of this 5-second effect on the offense, but as they get accustomed to coming out of a shotgun with 35 seconds instead of 40, the offense will settle down. Draw play, number 32 Smith powering his way upfield. Finally stopped by number 31, McKee.
Certainly, if I was the Galaxy defense there in this closing stages of the game, I would say, without a shadow of doubt, they're going to give Smith the ball a lot, and I would just be keying him, because he'll take a load to bring down.
For the remaining schedule of the London Monarchs, we have the 1st of April at San Antonio, the 6th at New York, New Jersey, and the 13th at Sacramento, and the 20th is Durham, as they do a trip throughout the United States, then on to Montreal, and then back to Europe. A pitch out to number 32, Smith. Bowls up close to that down marker for a first down, leaving about 1 yard to go. Stopped by number 28, Tim Brody.
Go for it. Let it wind down and then take a timeout.
Yeah, you see here, that's the first option play we've seen all day, Lance, and not unusual to see the London Monarchs doing option.
Well, I think right now the coach is comfortable enough ahead that he can play around a little bit and try some things he hasn't tried earlier.
Down and take a timeout.
As the London Monarchs 24, Frankfurt Galaxy 11,
Hey, come here.
deep into the 4th quarter. And for the rest of our Frankfurt Galaxy schedule, we have Saturday the 23rd of March, London tonight, the 1st. And we have the home games on Saturday, April 20th, the Raleigh-Durham. We have the 27th home game against Montreal, May 12th against Birmingham, and a home game on Saturday, May 25th against Sacramento. The official attendance tonight, 23,169 at Val Stadium in Frankfurt. As the Monarchs threaten yet again. A keeper play as Gelbaugh rolled out, was caught in the backfield, unloaded that ball, ended up sitting on the seat of his pants by number 50, Kevin Wolfgott. Linebackers came around again.
Wolfbach, the ex-CFL Argo player, and the Redskins showing a lot of determination in this game. I think he'll come on to be a very big impact player in this league, Lance.
Well, I
We're
think
throwing
the
to 22.
coaches, as they look at their films, they're going to know who their impact players are.
Bullshit!
As Coach Larry Kennan explains a finer point of football to one of the officials.
Go, get up, back up, back up, back up. God damn it.
First and 10 for the Frankfurt Galaxy from about the 30-yard line. First back, ball knocked down by number 53, Marlon Brown.
Brown having a good game. He came back after an injury in the second period, second quarter, and playing very dominant ball as an outside linebacker.
The Monarchs game showing after that trip to the U.S., coming back, New York, Orlando, Birmingham, Montreal, Raleigh. Not an easy game up there, Wayne.
Now, certainly it's going to be a very, very good game against Montreal.
As we see, yet another quarterback sack as Perez is looking downfield. Sacked for about a 2-yard loss. Number 94, Denny Lockett. You would be interested in that Montreal game. You do come from that part of the world, do you not, Wayne?
Yes, but I'm one of the English-speaking ones, not one of the French-speaking ones.
Perez back to pass, underthrowing, looking to the sidelines, number 85. The Galaxies don't seem to have any game plan that's working effectively. They're not moving that ball anywhere near as effectively as Jack Galloway would have expected.
Yes, I think we're now seeing the offensive line of the London Monarchs starting to dominate, and they're certainly in a totally different gear than the Galaxies. After Galaxy early domination, the London Monarchs had pulled away.
Punt taken by Brinson on the 28, hesitates, looks upfield, gains about 5 yards. Flag on the play, might be for a late hit. Wayne, do you think this fact that the faster game and only 35 seconds in between plays has an effect on an offensive line? Do they get more effort? Are they more tired?
I think that definitely they're going to come into their own during the season with this new game plan with about 30% more plays. I think to begin with, it's going to struggle. But as you go on, I think you'll see a lot more dominant play, a lot more excitement.
We'll be back in a few moments as we finish up this game at 24-11, London over Frankfurt. Game with about a minute left to go before full time. The Monarchs punting the ball out. Galaxy's picking it up 3 yards before they go out of field. This is the last chance for the Galaxy to get something together as they're behind 24-11.
Johnson again doing an excellent ball carrying job back there on the punt returns. He seems to be their everyman out there, and if anybody's going to score in the final seconds, I think it might be him.
Well, 24-11 to go with under a minute to go. 24-11 scoreline. I think Jack Elway is going to be a little bit disappointed on what his team did not do tonight. Perez back, looking downfield, completed pass to Cedric Gordon, number 88. 32 seconds ago, brought down by number 33 at 31, Dan Crossman, the strong safety.
Crossman must have had, certainly from what I've seen, certainly 15 tackles so far. He seems to be one of the best defensive backs they've got out there today, Lance. Certainly seems to be everywhere on the field, doesn't he?
Well, he's done everything that could be asked of him. As Perez throws an incomplete pass to the right-hand side 23 seconds ago. As they're winding the clock down here, you can see a bit of a dejected Frankfurt Galaxy team. What did they not do, Wayne? Why were they unable to move and to get more points than one touchdown, a safety, and a field goal?
Because when they were in crucial positions in the red zone, they didn't score. They had early dominance, and they didn't capitalize on it, allowing the other team to have the impetus to come back.
As another completed pass goes downfield to the London Monarch 25, caught by 89, Alan Lee.
Great play by Lee there, because that's a difficult catch over the middle with two men on you.
Clock ticking. There's back, long pass. No, ruled out of the end zone by the referees. You must catch the ball. Johnson caught the ball in a fantastic catch. Apparently did not get his feet down before he went out of the end zone. Incomplete pass. Much booing by the Frankfurt fans who thought at last they'd had something to cheer about.
Yes, a great athletic play by Johnson there. I don't know whether we'll get a slow motion replay on that. Here we are, see the ball in the air. He goes up and makes a great catch of the ball. Great presence of mind to get up above everybody. But as you see, the ball carries him out of the end zone, and he doesn't get any feet down, let alone one. But a great catch by Johnson, who's one of their best performers, Lance.
Well, we've got just about enough time for one more play. Is it Hail Mary time?
Definitely Hail Mary time. They're trying to get a face-saving something out of this to put on a few more points on the board.
Hail Mary, too far out of the end zone. As we can see the hands up, the London Monarchs victorious in this first game, coming back to London with a 1-0 record as the final score, London Monarchs 24, a slightly disappointing Frankfurt Galaxy 11.